Here's the book that we are going to be reading today. If you notice, there's no title or author on the cover. So based on the illustrations on the front and the back cover, what do you think this book is going to be about? Then, when we open our book is called The Hello Goodbye Window, and it is written by Norton Juster and pictures are by Chris Rashka. What do you think he means by the hello goodbye window? And here's the story. Nana and Pappy live in a big house in the middle of town. There's a brick path that goes to the back porch, but before you get there, you pass right by the kitchen window. That's the hello goodbye window. Looks like a regular window, but it's not. Any ideas on which one of these windows is the hello goodbye window? The kitchen is where Nana and Pappy are most of the time, so you can climb up on the flour barrel and tap the window, then duck down so they won't know who did it. Or you can press your face against the glass and frighten them. If they're not in the kitchen, you can't do it. But you have to wait until the next time. If they see you first, they wave and make silly faces. Sometimes Nana's peekaboos me, which always makes me laugh, so I get a lot of extra fun before I even get inside. And then, do any of your houses have windows where you could stand like the grandparents and the grandchild and just use it like a hello goodbye window? Just look at the kitchen. It's so big. It has a table you can color on and lots of drawers to take stuff out and play with. But you can't touch anything under the sink. You could get very sick. What do you think the author means when they say that if you touch anything under the sink, that you could get sick? Remember, we're also in the kitchen. There are shelves full of glass jars with lots of everything in them. A step stool so I can wash my hands, and all kinds of pictures from the olden days. Nana says she used to give me baths in the sink when I was little. Really? Sometimes Pappy plays his harmonica for me. He can only play one song, Oh Susanna, but he can play it a lot of different ways. He can play it fast or slow, or he can play it sitting down or standing up. He says he can even play it and drink a glass of water at the same time, but I haven't seen him do that. When I stay over, we have our supper in the kitchen too, and when it's dark outside, we can look at our reflections in the window. It works just like a mirror, except it's not in the bathroom, and it looks like we're outside looking in. Pappy says, "What are you doing out there? You come in here and have your dinner." And I say, "But I'm here with you, Pappy," and then he looks at me in his funny ways. Just before I go to bed, Nana turns off all the lights and we stand by the window and say goodnight to the stars. Do you know how many stars there are? Neither do I, but she knows them all. Do you ever take time with anyone, either your friends, family, anyone really, and just look at the stars at night before you go to sleep and see what's out in the solar systems? In the morning, the first place we go is back to the kitchen, and there's the window waiting for us. You can look out and say good morning to the garden, or see if it's going to rain or be nice. And you can see if the dog next door is doing stuff in Nana's flower beds. She hates that. Sometimes Pappy says in a real loud voice, "Hello, world, what have you got for us today?" Nobody ever answers, but he doesn't care. Pappy makes breakfast. He says it's his specialty. My favorite is oatmeal and bananas and raisins. You can't see them because he hides them down inside. And I find them all. When I get dressed, I help Nana in the garden. It's a very nice garden, but there's a tiger who lives behind the big bush in the back, so I don't ever go there. So here's the illustration of the tiger right here. Do you think it's really a tiger, or is she using her imagination to come up with things? I ride my bike too. Not in the street, please. Or collect sticks and acorns. Not in the house, please. Or just kick a ball around. Sometimes when it's hot, Poppy chases me with the hose and I yell, "Stop it, Poppy, stop it." When he does, I ask to do it again. Nana just shakes her head. When I get tired and I come in and take my nap, and nothing happens until I get up. What do you think happens when she takes her nap? Do you really think nothing's happening while she's sleeping? Or do you think she just kind of pretends like nothing's happening so that she's not missing out on what her grandparents are doing while she's taking a nap? Then sometimes I just sit by the hello goodbye window and watch. Nanny says it's a magic window, and anybody can come along when you least expect it. Tyrannosaurus Rex, he's extinct, so he doesn't come around much. The pizza delivery guy, pepperoni and cheese, he knows that's my favorite. The Queen of England. Nana is English, you know, so the Queen likes to come for tea. They could all come and a lot more if they want, and they do, and if they do, I'll see them first. Why do you think she'll see them first? Is it because she just knows that they'll be coming, or because she'll be sitting and watching? Mommy and Daddy pick me up after work. I'm glad because I know we're going home, but it makes me sad too because I have to leave Nana and Poppy. You can be happy and sad at the same time, you know. It just happens that way sometimes. When we leave, we always stop at the window to blow kisses goodbye. When you look at that house from the outside, Nana and Poppy's house has lots of windows, and there's only one hello goodbye window, and it's right where you need it. When I get my own house someday, I'm going to have a special hello goodbye window too. By that time, I might be a Nana myself. I don't know who Poppy will be, but I hope he can play the harmonica. Okay, so based on what we just read in our book, The Hello Goodbye Window, why do you think the author named the story The Hello Goodbye Window? Did anything surprise you that happened while she was at her grandparents' house? What she did, what she was doing with her grandparents, what she said? Then my next question is, does anything that happened inside this story, from going to your grandparents' house, sitting in the kitchen, saying goodnight to things before you go to bed, or even just playing outside and doing fun different things, do those things happen when you go to your grandparents' house? And if not, or if yes, what do you do when you're at your grandparents' house? And then I would have the students ask questions that they have about the novel, and then go back through the illustrations to see what they wanted to look at, take a closer look at, and see.